the wicked. Psalm 1:1, but the close the eyes to miss it. Kids are being tricked by all these feminist witches. I guess they don't get it, but that's why I pray.
So there'll be better days.
Maybe you won't be asking always.
That's why I pray. God lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low.
All right, let me know if you can hear me.
At the bottom of a bottle, you were out living life full throttle. I found God at the end of a heartbreak. I didn't think there was much more I could take. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low, but that's why I pray. So there'll be better days. Maybe I won't be a sinner always. That's why I pray. God lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. That's why I pray. Jesus folk, they don't listen, they just like to talk. But I believe in better days. I believe that Jesus saves. God, please show me the way. That's why I pray. So there'll be better days. Maybe I won't be a sinner always. That's why I pray. God lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. That's why I pray.
Gonna find out.
Hey, say you looking for better days. You need to change from the old you to better ways. Cause God was calling your name, but you ran away. Then decided to blame the church cause you was led astray. I cannot walk in the counsel of the wicked. Psalm 1:1, but the close the eyes to miss it. Kids are being tricked by all these feminist witches. I guess they don't get it, but that's why I pray.
So there'll be better days.
I gotta go check the Rumble chat. I wanted to get this.
That's why I pray. God lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low.
All right, it looks like I got the Rumble chat. What'd you guys think of the song? You know, my producer's out of town for another week and a half. So God help me with this equipment. Early on in the show, I would use it, but now it's struggle stream and we're back. But I think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting a little bit better. And since I could show you guys my mixtape without the embarrassment of the producer looking at me, you know, I know this is like a cultural commentary show, but I enjoy showing you the mixtapes. I love making music. I always said if I could do anything, I'd be a traveling folk artist and a professional athlete that talks to random people about politics. anyways, so maybe I'll make that a reality here, you know. Anyway, so make sure you like the video on your way in, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get started about today's topic in 1 second. I just need to pull something up. So today we're talking about female bosses. Now, I want to preface, guys, before we get into the topic, we are on the App Store, the Audacity Network. I built my own app, so okay, not me. I got a guy to do it. You're okay. You guilty as charged. On the website, if you guys have a comment, question, or concern, you can sign up to the Audacity Network. You can see all my old shows. And also, you can be a part of the live chat. Now, we got a really cool community on the website. We got Rob in the chat. We got Zach. He says, howdy, y'all. We got Doug MPA as usual. I'd love to get like 30 people in the live chat on the website. I know it's a little embarrassing. We're starting slow. Sometimes we get to like 12. But at some point, if we get like 30, 50 people in there, I want to just do one-on-one, like, one-on-ones with you guys where you can have a Zoom specifically on the website and we can all just talk about whatever the topic was of today. So anyways, if you want to support the channel, if we get 10 signups a show, I can be YouTube free by the end of the year, and I'd be a lot less, you know, stressed out some days. So and then I'll have the money to finish this divorce documentary. The link to that's in the description too. I do have the first edit covered, but so I think it's around $10,000 to $12,000 that we raised for this documentary, which, by the way, guys, was so nice of you. You guys don't have to do anything. I mean, how often do people want to send money to YouTubers? I get it. But this divorce documentary, if we get the next payment, then I can get a second edit. So right now I have a first edit. And then I'm going to go back with them. I might even show you guys on the website the edits of the documentaries. I was trying to think of a way to do it. You guys can't leak it, but I want you guys involved in the process. Like, if you're giving me your hard-earned money, you guys might as well be involved. So anyways, it would be cool. We're at 6 live on the website. It would be cool to get to 20 by the end of the stream. I'll be very excited. I'm going to attempt to call in at the end of the show, but you know, I promise nothing. I am producing this myself. Okay, so today we're talking about female bosses. Now, I do have a monologue about this, but I want to talk about my personal experience with female bosses. So generally, in my life, I've worked for mostly men. To be fair, I haven't had a lot of jobs outside of YouTube because I started my career fairly early, but I worked in sales for a little bit. That was men. Copier sales. Women aren't doing that. And then I worked at a plumbing tech company. It was also owned by a guy. But my experience is more from coaches because for 22 years of my life, I had a lot of coaches. And women are a large percentage of the coaches. And I could say one thing from working with men and women volleyball coaches, I'll say. I would say I had majority women. There's a lot of challenges that came. For one, bosses that are female or coaches that are female are always involved in the office drama. Now, obviously, this is the team drama. But whenever there was like gossip about one girl whoring it up, my coaches would find out it's weird behavior, right? What are you worrying about a kid's sex life, you know? Second thing was that, you know, when I was in college, I played, and she was a lovely lady, to be honest. I played for this woman. I don't want to say her name, although you guys could probably find her if you really wanted to. But I really liked her as a coach. However, when I played for this team, we were really competitive. We were top 20 in all of Division III. At one point, we were like 14th in the country. Really, really competitive team for D3. Take it with a grain of salt. And this coach, whenever we would lose a game, guys, I shit you not, we would sit in the locker room for sometimes up to 3 hours talking about everything that went wrong. And at one point in the season, I counted how many hours we spent in that locker room, and it was damn near a part-time job. The men, when I had male coaches, they would really just focus on what we could improve. The women focused a lot more on the emotions. They would say things like, this is a mental game. And, I played volleyball for 22 years. Yeah, it's somewhat mental, but not really. It's strategy. And male coaches tended to understand that. Like I had one young woman who went to a college in, I think, Kentucky. And her coach based all of his decisions on numbers. It was really on stats. And this young woman, she couldn't really take it. It stressed her out too much. Okay, so Doug says, women bosses treat men better. I've never had a bad female boss as a professional, but I've seen women destroy each other. Craig says, I liked the song. Thank you guys on the website. Now we got 7 people on the website chat. If you're curious, you go to Pearl Daily on the website and you join it. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best chat on YouTube, really. Okay, so, we always hear about how bad women have it in the modern day. We have the pay gap. We have women aren't safe. Women are oppressed. And, of course, they always blame these issues on the men. It's always the men's fault. What about the men, though? An example of a place I see this in, even outside of work, is whenever women sleep with the boss, it's always the boss's fault and not the young, hot woman. Like, for some reason, even in that interaction, it's always the guy. I was even talking to my dad about this the other day, and I'm like, Dad, the women are apex predators. And he's like, no, that the boss is in a position of power. And I'm like, really, Dad, you buy this? I love my dad. My dad's the best guy on the planet. But even him, I'm like, Dad, you're falling for this. Gosh. If you look at the mainstream misandrist propaganda, women really can't stand each other. If you ask any woman, your mom, your sister, your female friends, female friends really aren't worth it, but, maybe one or two, they'll tell you that, the person that has done the worst of the things to them in their lives is another woman. And I could tell you a story about this. So I'll tell you guys a story. And maybe, I hope she doesn't go off on TikTok again, but I don't care anymore. God, I don't care anymore. So I had a friend that was like friends with me for 22 years. 22 years. And this woman, this is how women use reputation destruction. I'll tell you what. And I have notes on this. But this woman I was friends with for 22 years, and I started my show. And this woman was a liberal, right? And to put it into context, this is a woman that asked me during George Floyd if I posted a black square. And, I'd always liked her. We'd been close since we were young. So I would always put politics aside, I've always been a dork. I probably talked about it a little bit, but she was just the type you had to be careful what you said around because, she was, one of her friends said like her other friend couldn't see her kid if she didn't get the COVID shot. This is madness, right? But I liked her as a person, so much so I was in this woman's wedding. We were like best friends, besties. And she texts me one day when I'm doing my show and then gets mad at me for stuff I was saying on my show. And essentially what it came down to, she said, say what I want. Don't use words that I don't like on your show or I'm not going to be friends because my future daughter might see it one day. And I refrain from talking about her because, she's gone on TikTok and she just goes off and I'm like, there she goes. Now, anyways, this was really one of my first experiences where I'm like, wow, Women really like to control speech because she could have just shut off my show, but 22 years of friendship, I guess, down the drain. You know what my crime was? It was so crazy. I said, men can leave wives that get super fat. What a time. No, but this was a female friend, 20 years of friendship. And then I just said, okay, I ended it and that was it, but sometimes she like spurgs on the internet, whatever. Now this is just one example, right? But I think we can all think of, women that have backstabbed each other. A common thing that I've heard is women sleeping with each other's boyfriends, sleeping with each other's husbands. It's always another woman, Who is the woman? And oh my gosh, women. When I got into this space, women started treating me like a man. And do you know what? Women have made up so much shit about me. Or do you know what they do? They take a small detail and put it completely, they over-exaggerate it to destroy your reputation. I mean, maybe... I'm not going to get into all of it. I'm not going to get into all of it today. It's always another woman. Who's the bad person that makes a bad life decision that wants you to do the same so you can all be miserable together? When one woman's a whore, she has to get everyone to be a whore. It's always another woman. Women make it more difficult for other women in the workplace. Queen bee syndrome is a term for when women finally make it into management and then make life hell for every other woman under her supervision. And I've seen this in friend groups. Whenever there's a female friend group, every 6 months, one of the girls gets tired of the other and tries to kick the girl out of the friend group. But it rotates. Then they get less. They bitch about that girl for 3 months, and then they let her back in the friend group. And then it's a different girl's time to get kicked out. There's usually like 3 or 4 that are consistent that maybe are less annoying or for bitchy, or I don't know, for whatever reason they don't get kicked out. But this is female friend groups. Now, female-dominated industries are full of drama, because 80% of workplace bullying is a woman bullying women. Catty behavior is normal working around other women, and women supervisors are stereotyped for being more emotional, less compassionate to female employees, and taking out the frustrations in their personal lives around them. That's why today we're going to talk about female bosses. Many women, 40% say they would rather work for a male boss than a female boss. Is there really a patriarchy when almost half of women would rather work for a man than a woman? So there's an article on LinkedIn, and I was looking at this earlier. I was cracking up. God, it was so funny. Oh, let me turn on my camera switcher. Bear with me, and I'm going to take a second to read the chat. I'm going to be doing a call-in later, so get ready. Women bosses. Oh, wait, I read that. Many women live on drama. It's bizarre. I had to chat with my mom and sister. Life can be good if you let it. We are above ground. Consider adding a business panel for the guys who are interested in members, can connect, share ideas, learn and support each other's growth instead of endless talk of bitches. Let's build and scale together. A business panel. Give me ideas, Fazal. I'm not opposed to it. Okay, so we're going to go to camera 4. Okay, we spend a lot of time... wait, hold on. The female paradox. Women prefer to work with men. We spend a lot of time talking about, reading about, and writing about the gender diversity, pay equality, and the glass ceiling and lack of women in executive and leadership roles. We hear about how there is a movement and change happening in this area, and that women are advancing the ball by leaning in more to accept executive responsibilities. So here's the pressing question I couldn't shake that led me to write this article seeking answers. If there is a huge movement to support and advance professional women, why do both women and men report not only that they prefer male bosses, but that they prefer to work with men in general more than women? What is the real issue of working with women? The female leader paradox. Women say they support female leaders, but they really don't want to work with or for them. How can this be? Can we create more female executives without actually wanting to work for them? Can we support and advocate for the advancement of women and for crushing the glass ceiling without going all in? Who are female leaders supposed to lead when even women prefer to be led by men? Oh my God, that is so funny. Women don't even want to do it. Women are like, women in leadership. And then they're like, go work for the women. And they're like, nah. You know what? They did this to me with sports. All the women said, oh, you know, we want women and we support women's sports. I never saw any of you feminists at my games. I played sports for 22 years. Do you know who is the most supportive of female athletes? The male teams. They always got there early. They all went. To be fair, they're probably trying to get some tail. But hey, you know what? The YouTube video keeps going out. Ah, no. All right, hold on, guys. Does this work? No. Black screen. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I got it. Making up for the no black square. Yeah, guys, this woman, you know, and I never, you know, I should fire the woman in charge of the camera. What? I'm firing myself? Yeah, let me just fire me, you know. Also, I do apologize for the moving of show times. I'm trying to balance a lot. We're short-staffed. I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can say. Go to theaudacitynetwork.com, okay? If you can. Please, you know. Monthly membership, yearly membership. Oh, we got 7 in the chat. It'd be nice to get to 10. Let's try to get to 10. 3 more of you guys. It's $10 a month, $100 a year. Hire a man to fix the video. Okay, then go to the website. Sorry, I'm kidding. We have one, but he's on vacation, so I knew it before I hired him that he'd have to take like 2 weeks off right away. I just hired him. So he's a really good producer, but he's coming back. Okay, so I think we have to ask ourselves, are women sometimes unintentionally keeping women down? I'm not sure if it's the lack of advancement of opportunities, societal norms, built-in expectations, or some sort of professional jealousy or something else. But certainly there are underlying factors to contribute to these statistics and research. According to this Forbes article, authored by Matt Simmons, today women occupy just 4% of CEO at Fortune 500 companies, and fewer than 1 in 5 corporate board seats is held by women. This Daily Beast article with data and a new Gallup poll authored by Lizzie Crocker informs us that 40% of women prefer a male in charge compared to 27% who prefer a female boss. This article says that these numbers don't exactly show a groundswell of women adopting Sheryl Sandberg's lean-in attitude, nor have they budged much over a decade. The article, authored by Olga Kahazan and featured in The Atlantic, reviews a Pew article survey that indicates, in fact, more women said they'd rather work with men than men did. The article goes on to confirm that the dilemma gets worse, not better, with younger generations. We have to do more to support professional women. We have to want to work for them. We often have this discussion about breaking the glass ceiling and resolving pay inequalities as if it's a male-driven phenomenon. But clearly it isn't. From what I can tell, it's very much, or at least equally, a female-driven phenomenon. I pose that until women actually want to work with and for other women, these statistics will not change. Until women stop viewing leadership as mostly a masculine concept, these stats won't change. Unless women match words to deeds and develop supportive workplace relationships and professional women, these stats will not change. Until women report at least equal preference for working with and other women, nothing will change. Why? Because of supply and demand. Women increasingly making up more and more of the professional workplace. We have the dominant voice, and our voice and actions are sending the message that men should be in charge. So how funny is it? Women got together and they said, let's do this on our own. Girl power. And then feminism always eats itself, because the women, they started working for the other women and they thought, I don't know about this. Oh, this is pretty bad. Maybe the men had a point, you know? Doug says the average career life of a male CEO is 7 to 8 years. The average career life of a female CEO is 2 to 3 years. Women get to the top and then quit because it's too hard. Fazal says, my brother, thank you for your support. Let's meet monthly to add more flavor to the Audacity Network. We can bring in Glenn, share ideas. If we hit a wall, gain insights from Pearl's dad to grow stronger together. You know what? My dad might meet with you guys on the website privately. He's not a public guy. We can do that. We can do that, actually. We can totally do that. Fazal, I think I owe you a meeting, actually. I just remembered this. I apologize. Okay. Number one, all right, so she listed some reasons women don't like working for other women. One, get this, professional jealousy. Women being jealous? Never. We're always happy. Especially when other women get promoted fast beyond us or get her work projects noticed more. Okay, so this is essentially a hotter woman comes into the office. So there's a woman that's in the office. She's used to being the hottest woman. And then a younger, hotter, tighter woman comes in and she makes her life a living hell. It's like the 30-year-olds with the 20-year-olds. Limited opportunities. Since we are competing for such limited roles, are we intentionally or unintentionally backbiting and sabotaging one another because there is not enough for all of us? Different standards for different women. Do women have different standards for women and with children and those without them? How about married versus single women? How do we apply different standards? Discomfort working with smart, beautiful women. History shows that men don't take beautiful women seriously. But is that still the case? Or I think that ugly women have a harder time. Or is now more beautiful women a problem? Are women still viewing the workplace as a dating pool and competing for male attention? Women can't even give it up. When a woman is beautiful, are women the ones questioning her competence and intelligence, hence showing her less respect? The marriage and motherhood factors. Do women look negatively on women who are not married and or mothers? Yes, of course. Balancing politeness with assertiveness. If the woman is polite and friendly, do we view her as too polite and too friendly? And when she is assertive and direct, do we view her as temperamental, above herself, or even bitchy? I could go on, but the ultimate and final question here is, how do we overcome gender biases that not only men have, but also women have against women? There you have it, guys. Isn't that insane? Women don't even want to work with other women. Let me know in the chat. Can you guys go on the website and type in your female boss experience? It'd be very helpful to me. I'm going to try. I think when I share my screen, that's when this goes black. I want to test this. Is my screen black again? If it is, I'll see in a second. Okay. Next, we have a TikTok of older woman hated this woman in the workplace. Oh my gosh, I am so dumb. This is why it went black. I did not plug in. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh, I was just getting better at producing. Oh my gosh. Now it's going to work. What the? Okay, why is it blocked TikTok? Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I was not prepared.
This should work now.
First was to have older women just hate me for existing. We'll talk about.
I'm gonna go turn this up slightly. Hold on. Hold on. It says a good bit of confusion makes this show more entertaining. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Okay, we're going to go back to the beginning.
I was not prepared for in the workforce was to have older women just hate me.
I turned this up.
We'll talk about older men. That's like.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me go back. Okay, well, hopefully this works.
Not prepared for in the workforce was to have older women just hate me for existing. We'll talk about older men. That's like a different line here, but older women hated me for no reason. We can talk about the narcissistic men on a different time. I'm going to tell you a story about my first full-time job. So I worked for a company that sold medical equipment, and I was in sales and marketing. And we all kind of had different bosses, and we all had, it was like kind of like, I don't know, little groups. And so my boss was under this one. My boss was an older lady, maybe in her 60s, and she had worked at this company for 20 years. We all had different shifts. So like I could come in at 6 a.m. and leave at 3 p.m. And that's what I did. So I came in at 6 a.m. and then she would come in at like a normal time, 8 a.m. And every day she'd come in, she would ask only me what I was doing. So, you know, there's a whole team of like, I don't know, 15 of us. She would say, Chrissy, what have you done? Then she would log into the back end of my computer to see what I had been doing that day. And the thing is, I didn't really realize that I was being like singled out. You know, she got mad at me for taking a lot of water breaks. I was also competing in CrossFit, so like I peed a lot, you know, I get that. So I was naive and I went to HR and I was like, hey, I just don't think she's treating me fairly. She's like treating me different than everyone else. Now, this company also had someone that was on FMLA leave and also was just like finished a lawsuit from someone not getting their proper lunch breaks. So I'm assuming they were like really fearful of a lawsuit. I was freshly 21. I don't even like that didn't even come into my brain. Okay. So I just went to them because that's what I thought you were supposed to do. And I was like, hey, I just think she's like picking on me and I don't really understand it. And it got to a point where like she would call me out in front of everyone. She would talk down to me. But the thing is like my accounts were happy. I was hitting goals. I was doing okay. It's just that I could do the job in less time than everyone else.
Yeah. So women, this is a common problem with women. Women don't care about getting things done. They care about looking like they're getting things done. So her problem was that she could work less and get more done, and her boss would get mad at her even though she was getting her stuff done. Now I want to take a moment and say thank you so much to Fazell for getting the yearly membership. He got annual on the app. Every time you guys download the app, it ranks us higher in the app store. So I do appreciate you guys going up. Also, I want to thank Gabe. You're awesome. Thank you to, and I want to say thank you to Madam. Thank you to Matthew. Thank you to Mark. This app is going good. This app's going good. Okay, so next we got women bosses are less. Oh, wait, hold on. Another TikTok of women talking about how female bosses are the worst.
Okay,
let me go here.
we often talk about male bosses and how they are the worst. But let me tell you, female bosses are the fucking worst. They're nasty, they're blatant, cutthroat, blatant, degrading to other females. They're the worst to deal with. And I'm not saying all of them, okay? But 90% of the time, they are mean as ish, okay? And for some reason, they're the most straightforward with their, like, shitty ways. And I don't know, it's because they're jealous, they feel intimidated, or they just hate females. I don't know, okay? But they always seem to be in a power trip. And they always seem to hate the idea of other females being around and trying to, like, better themselves. And it never makes sense to me. It never makes sense. Like, I used to work at this place in San Antonio, and I was supposed to learn from this lady who had been with the company since they started. She was about to retire. You know, she was like the mom of the company because she had been there for so long. She didn't want to fucking train me. I literally followed this woman around, and she would be like, oh no, I'm not going to teach you that. You don't need to know. That's what I'm here for. Okay, but you're going to retire, bitch. You old as fuck. You're going to retire. And she never wanted to train me. So they literally removed me from that and, like, guided my position into something else because she didn't want to train nobody. She was mean, she was degrading, she was cutthroat, she was fucking nasty for no reason. All I was to her was respectful.
We got 8 on the website, by the way. Can you guys hear the rain? Is that coming through? It's raining kind of hard out here.
And I was excited to learn, and I was excited for, like, my job.
It'd be cool to get 10. Let's get 10 on the website.
And she did not want to have none of it. She was on this power trip, that she was the only one that knew things, and she had been with the company for whatever many years, and she was mean, okay? So yeah, male bosses are horrible and extremely demanding at times, but female bosses, the wrong female bosses, whew, the worst. The worst. And I'm sure there's women out there who know the type of bosses I'm talking about that just hate you for no reason, and you're just there trying to do your damn job, and they just fucking hate your guts and they treat you like crap.
I had a couple coaches that bullied me. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got another one. Another woman complaining about her female boss. Then I think next we'll do a call-in. So if you guys have some stories about a terrible female boss, I will put a Zoom link in the chat after this. At some point, I will only take it from the website. That day is not today. We're almost at 10 people on the website, though. Let's get 10 in the live chat on there. We're at 8 now.
Learned from working for 2 very insecure women bullies. I had 2 bullies in my life, and they were both female bosses. The other side of that, I have had 2 wonderful, amazing female leaders, one of which is mine right now, and I would do anything for her. An insecure boss is going to constantly be living in fear that you are going to take their job, so they will withhold resources, training, anything from you just to keep you at this level. They do not want to see you succeed, whether it's in that company or elsewhere, and they are going to do everything in their power to keep it that way. They do not respect your time. They will participate in company gossip and likely be the ones that start it in order to break down the team and create some weird divide so that they can be your saving grace and also take the attention away from the fact that they suck. They have an inability of self-awareness or gratitude. They will micromanage to the point that you are no longer empowered to make any decision and you start to second guess your confidence.
You heard it from women, folks. Women got together and they said, let's empower each other. They said, let's fight, let's crush the patriarchy. Let's do this awesome thing. Let's build companies. And then women worked for other women and said, not like that. No, thank you. They entered a man's world and said, I'm good. Okay, I want to read on the chat on the website, which we have 8 people on. Can we get to 10 people? Let's try to get to 10. Anyways. Okay. Zach said, I've had a few female bosses. One in particular would crash out every week or so, slamming doors, yelling, etc. Craig says, practice makes perfect. You will do better next time. I'm an engineer and I've actually had some very good female bosses and colleagues. You know, my brother has similar experiences. Maybe engineers are better. I expect engineering might be somewhat different. Very few women and more data-driven. Fazal, it's all good. Life gets hectic. Let's reconnect whenever it works for you. My guy, Fazal. Fazal's funny, actually. He's a funny guy. Okay, I'm going to go start the Zoom. I think that was my last video. I want to know from you, what is your female boss story? So I think I get a little bit better of stories when I allow you guys to not be on camera. So today we're going to do that. So you can join the Zoom, but it's not going to be on camera. I am going to make you listen to another one of my mixtapes while I go figure this out because, you know, I gotta plug my mixtapes.
We don't party like we used to. Take me. We don't party like we used to. Take me back to 1992. Everybody's acting brand new. We're not looking across the room. Everybody is looking down on their phones. No one's around. Yeah, we used to tear up the town. Now I don't hear a sound. People don't dance 'cause somebody's watching. Drink too much, everybody's talking. We used to rage like there was no stopping. So put your hands up, everybody's walking. Put your phone down and get on the dance floor. Shake that booty like you never did before. Look real silly, yeah, raise your hands. Let's get together and baby just dance. We used to snap a Polaroid. Now the whole night's on record. I used to know who my neighbor was. Now we really don't do that stuff. We used to go out and ding dong ditch. Now that ring cam is the biggest snitch. Now all these young kids do is stream on Twitch. 2020s are the biggest glitch. People don't dance 'cause somebody's watching. Drink too much, everybody's talking. We used to rage like there was no stopping. So put your hands up, everybody's walking. Put your phone down and get on the dance floor. Shake that booty like you never did before. Look real silly, yeah, raise your hands. Let's get together and baby just dance. 92. Everybody's acting brand new. We're not looking across the room.
Okay, I have it in Audacity. Look at Rumble. You're just going to have to go to my website, www.theaudacitynetwork.com. It's on the link. And I just put it on the website and YouTube. I'm going to play one more mixtape. I got to do what I got to do. This one I'm getting produced. Hold on. Hold on. This one I haven't gotten produced yet, but I will. I'm going to do one more song while I get this ready. I got to entertain you guys somehow. Or you know what? I'll play an old video of mine while we're waiting. We could do, we'll play this one. Is sleeping around different for men and for women, yes or no?
Yeah, men don't have to face the consequences.
Yeah, I think the same. I think, yeah, when women do it, it's not really acceptable, but when guys do it, it's fine. I don't know. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
It depends. It's not less fun though. It's not less fun. It's just that women have to face the consequences. Men just get branded as legends.
And women judge other women as well for sleeping around, I think. But as you get older,
at the moment.
Yeah.
I think people care less nowadays if girls sleep around more.
When you're younger in school, that's when it's more.
Some dudes, especially with the whole Andrew Tate thing, some dudes actually care about body count and shit. That's so toxic.
Do you think body count matters?
Fuck no. In fact, the higher the better. You actually know what you're doing in bed.
So I have a question. Would you guys say your body count?
No.
So if it doesn't matter, why don't people just say it? What's your body?
I wouldn't say it.
No, do you know what I'm saying?
My friends.
Yeah, not on an
But it's just interesting because we'll say it doesn't matter, but then it's if it doesn't matter, why doesn't everyone just say it?
Very intellectual thought.
Because honestly, for a guy, I think personally, I wish I was a virgin. I wish I would waited till marriage. I think one is too many.
I disagree.
I wish I did. Yeah, I wish I was a virgin. Yeah.
I think sex
Really?
is part of a relationship and you need to know that the person that you're going to marry is, exactly.
I
make sure you have that sexual chemistry. Sexual chemistry is so important.
So I feel like if you... Okay, that full video is on www.theaudacitynetwork.com. I kind of regret those street interviews because I did not regret, but I just wasted so much time on the moral side of things. And I really regret that time in my career, even though I meant what I said. But the reason I regret it a little bit is because I could have asked so many more interesting questions. I could have said, okay, what counts as a body to you? If a guy fingers you, is that a body? Do you guys count head? Is that a body count? I think we need to do a show, everybody, where we detail what is body count? What is it? So Doug is on the line. By the way, as far as I know, this is struggle producing. So as far as I know, I need you guys to stay muted. I need you guys to stay muted. Shelby, God help me. I don't want to get up.
What is it?
Please.
It's on the line. By the way, I don't, as far as I know. This is struggle producing. So as far as
my God. Why are you doing this to me?
Uh-oh. Shelby, God help me. I don't want to get up. Please. It's on the line. By the way, I don't, as far as I know. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, I don't know. The woman left. Guys, please, God, please, for the love of God. I have no producer here. I'm doing my best. Please do not come on the Zoom with your mic on. Please. You see this struggle, okay?
Can you hear me okay, bro?
Yeah, Doug, I can. I think I made you a host, so I think you can boot people.
Yeah. I'll look, but Yaya's on the phone and Seb.
Okay, so well, first, Doug, can you start us off today with your female boss story?
So, tell you the truth, since I've become a professional, I've had a bad female team lead, but never a bad female boss, as in the one who writes my performance reviews. But women treat male employees, women supervisors treat male employees better than their female ones, 100%. I've seen the same female boss be nice to me and then just destroy every other woman in the office.
What was the story with the person that was your colleague? Was it? Like, what did they do to make your life?
So,
go ahead.
I've seen, you know what it is? It's because, see, men, we don't go into our jobs trying to be happy or trying to be social or trying to find a passion.
Mm-hmm.
So when you find women who are trying to be happy at work or find a passion and it clashes and one has authority over the other, it's like a powder keg. So one of the reasons why I get along with all my bosses is because my real job, I mean, it's just a means to an end to me. Like, I don't think that I'm going to save the world. I don't think that I'm special. But if you have two women who think that they're special and one has authority over the other, it's going to be chaos. So and then also, if you're the guy that gets along with your female boss, she'll try to get you involved and stuff. She'll talk trash about another woman to you, and be like, I don't like her. Do you like her? And you're supposed to say no, but you guys just don't get involved. Don't get involved in squabbles between women, especially supervisors and subordinates. They always just try to get the men involved in their squabbles. Don't do it. Don't say anything. Just listen, but don't take a side. Don't say anything. Because I've seen women try to make people take sides in the office. I've seen women go to...
What happened that made them take sides?
Well,
like, was there a fight or something? No, did we lose him? No. Okay, well, we got a second. We got some new signups on the website. Dusty. We got a Dusty on the website. We also got Sean. Welcome to the site. We also got Fazal. So thank you guys. Guys, if we get 10 a show, we don't even have to do ads. I'm talking to some ads people. But, we get 10 a show consistently. I think Doug dropped. Okay, next we got Yaya. Do you want to unmute Yaya? No? Okay, well, I guess I will. You don't have a story. Well, Yaya, why are you here? What are you... The Zoom was for people that have a story about female bosses. I'm not trying to be rude. Go on the website. Go get the app. Then you can interact with me and I'll read it. But the Zoom, it's like the second you could listen. Yeah, that's what YouTube's for. You just go to the website. And then I can read your chats or whatever, but I don't know why you're here. Okay. Seb, we got Seb next. You can unmute if you got a female boss story. I'd love to hear if you guys could tell me the industry that you're in and like what age maybe this happened to you.
Hey, Pearl, I'm back. I got booted, but I'll make sure to let you know who's in the chat and who's not, who's on there.
How'd you get booted? Like the Wi-Fi or what?
I don't know. It's disconnected, but I'm back. So you said
okay.
Seb?
Yeah, I think you can. Are you able to bring people up? I think you can. I made you. Oh, wait, no, not anymore. You probably. Okay, we'll do our best. So Seb said he needs a second. So then.
Okay, so we can go to Alexander Westner. Are you ready, Ray?
He's trying to unmute.
Unmute.
And,
there we go. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. No one's on camera, by the way, as far as I know.
Sure.
My tech is mid.
I just like to show it so you know there's nothing fishy going on.
Yeah. So what's your female boss story?
So this would have been a few years ago. I was working in retail, just customer service industry. What would you call it? A corner store kind of thing. So I had a female boss. I had several over the time, and I had obviously female peers. I actually found that maybe a male boss would be preferable, but if I'm going to have female peers, I actually like having a female boss because they actually appreciate somebody who's hardworking or follows orders well, that kind of thing. I actually had an incident with one of my female colleagues where she was doing some dramatic spiel, and I offered her some life advice because she was going through some hard times or whatever. Come to find out the next day, she spent some story about how I'm being degrading and abusive and all these things, verbally abusive.
What was the advice? What was the advice? What did you say?
She was some 21-year-old maybe, and she was like trying to adopt her third kid when she could barely handle two, or it wasn't adopted, it was fostering. So they had all kinds of issues, and she was going on and on about it.
That's legit.
Hey guys, make sure you mute when you get on. I'll call you on one by one, but I just want to hear the stories. But keep going, Alexander. Go ahead.
Sure. So effectively, so she talked to my boss about it before I got into my shift. And then as soon as I came into the store, my boss is like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And the three of us went into the office, and it was a super awkward pause. And then my boss starts relaying to me what this coworker was saying about me. And I'm like, no, if anything, I've been very cordial, and I've taught them just about anything they know in the store. Like I'm pretty sure nothing like that happened. Effectively, my boss took my side because I'd been there longer, and just because she knew my character, and she could read very clearly between the lines that this was obviously a move to make drama and a manipulation tactic, and she could see that, she could understand
Did you tell her to get rid of the kids? Was that it? Was it like maybe don't foster?
Kind of, yeah. I was like, maybe don't keep fostering more kids. Oh, she was also trying to foster dogs and stuff at the same time. She had two of them. It was a whole thing.
Why do women get animals they're not ready for? My sister did this too. She got a horse. You know what commitment a horse is?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I love horses, but man, they are a lot of work. You got to be ready for them.
Yeah, I won't lie. It died the other day.
Talking at once.
All right, Tim, make sure, please. I can't. I need you to mute till it's your turn. I'm gonna call you up, but I gotta keep the show going. Okay, thank you. It's struggle production today, but yeah, my sister. I'll tell you what though, this horse died, and my dad was so happy. He was so happy this thing died because it was such a oh my gosh, it was so expensive for years. You know.
But yeah, that basically sums up the story. That coworker ended up being fired later on, but for different reasons. But looking back on it, I wonder whether a male boss is the 30s or 40s might have not been a little bit more sympathetic to her and taken her words at more face value.
Oh, so you almost are less likely to get a false accusation because women hate other women.
That's just it. Yeah, they can't stand each other.
Yeah.
Oftentimes.
Yeah.
Sad to say.
I could see where that would make sense. Well, thanks for the story. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great night.
Okay, Tim, you're next.
What?
Tim is next.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tim. Unmute Tim. Oh, can you unmute? Tim, are you there? Unmute. There you are.
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. I'm here.
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Pearl? Love your show.
Thanks for watching. What do you think of the topic? What's your female boss story?
Oh, boy. I was in the military for 20 years.
Oh, no.
And I first class petty officer that used
Okay,
to
wait.
make my life.
1 second. Do you have something going in the background? Do you have my show going in the background, Tim? I think it's echoing.
Yeah.
Can you pause it?
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
No, I don't, other than your show.
Can you mute? Can you mute for a second?
Okay, hold on.
I want to see something because I hear an echo. I think it's you. Could be someone else.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
you got something running. Okay, I'm gonna go to a different caller. Try to get rid of the echo, and then we'll bring you back. Okay, Tim. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to Seb just for a second. If Tim, you can mute yourself for a second, we'll come back to you. Oh wait. I think it's gone.
How's that?
I think you fixed
Did it work?
Yeah, I think you fixed it. Okay, tell me about the military. Go ahead.
Okay, I had a first class petty officer. She was a female, and I was a second class petty officer at the time. And she would make my life absolutely miserable.
How so? I'm listening. What would she do?
She would send me out on stupid runs. What we did was we were a trouble desk, and somebody would call in and say, I got a problem with the refrigerator or something like that. And instead of going to the house first, checking out the situation, figuring out what was wrong, and then coming back to the warehouse if the refrigerator was bad or something was bad, she would tell me to go get the appliance first and then swap it out even if the other appliance was still good. Come to find out, on 9 times out of 10, all it was a circuit breaker. So I was moving around furniture and appliances and everything else, knowing that it might have been a circuit breaker.
Wow. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Pearl.
Did you ever see, I've heard military women are complete whores. Is that true?
Oh, I was in Diego Garcia. Back at that time, the population on Diego Garcia was I'd say 98% men, and the only women that were on the island were older officers, female officers. And whenever there was a ship that would come in, well, the females that were on that ship would come on shore for liberty and leave rich.
They were hookers?
No, these are military females.
No, I meant they were having sex for money. Is that how they would leave rich?
Oh yeah.
So they were hookers.
They were hooking themselves. And
oh my God.
It was something else. And one time
I want to ask you a question. I've always wanted to ask a military person this. Did you see, dealing with female officers, that they would emulate the worst part of male leadership, trying to be a male in their role as a leader in the military? Because that's what they thought that they should do. Was that your experience?
No. I mostly worked under male leadership. I was mostly in battalions, and the only time I had any type of female leadership was when I was on ADAC, Alaska, in public works.
Okay.
But they pretty much were professional. You know, it was just like the only time that I've seen where women were looking themselves was Diego Garcia.
Were they at least hot?
Some weren't. But when you've been on an island for 8.5 months without a single woman on there, a number 1 is a number 10.
Wow. So if you want to bat out of your league, go find a boyfriend on that island. Right? if you wanna you got 8 months to make him fall in love before he finds better options.
Well, get this one.
Good.
When I was there, they brought up we just are almost finishing up with a 9-month deployment. And for some reason, the upper echelon figure, they would bring on Miss America and her court. And they had the stage. It looked like a prison entrance. They had chain link fence from one side to the other, from the floor all the way to the roof. They had 2 exits, or one entrance and one exit, and they had vans backed up to those entrances. And that's where Miss America and her court would exit the van in the stairs, go up on stage, and underneath chain link fence. Now, later on, when the show was over and all the guys went back home or back to their bunks and everything, there's a lot of springs squeaking.
I've heard the military women get down.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever date one? Did you ever date someone at work?
How'd
that go?
It didn't go too well.
What happened? How did it end?
Well, have you ever heard that it's your turn? That was about it. She's not yours, but it's your turn.
Where'd she go? To your other colleague?
Oh yeah. She was we dated for a few months. And I was on duty and I had to come back home to get something real quick and found them in the bedroom. And I was like, okay, have fun. That was the last time I've seen her.
Oh, so you were dating her and you found her in your bedroom?
Yeah. What we used to do is we used to get an apartment, like a 2-bedroom or, something like that, and have 3 guys go in on one apartment to cut down on the rent money. And, yeah, she knew when I had duty, and so did he. And so when I had duty, they started doing the nasty, and like I said, I had to come back home for something real quick, and then caught him, and that was the end of that.
Wow. Were you mad, or were you just like, I saw this coming?
I kind of saw it coming. But then again, I have been single my whole entire life. I am now 65 years old. And for some reason, I have always was happy when the relationship was over. I truly believe that there are some people that are meant to have partners, and there are some people that are meant to be single. And I think I fall into the category of meant to be single.
Got it. So you're kind of relieved. You're like, I've had enough of this broad.
Oh yeah, I've had. Oh jeez. Well, I've had several women. I had a girlfriend, sort of. I'm not going to mention her name, but I known her since I was 12 years old, and she was 11. And she found out where I was, and I knew she was married. And so I was stationed down in San Diego, and she gave me a call one day. And I says, "Well, aren't you married?" And she goes, "No, I'm no longer an item with my husband." And she asked if she could come down and visit. So I says, "Oh, sure. If you're not married, sure." So for once, I'm not the one that had to pay for the plane or the train ticket to get her down there. She bought it, a round trip ticket. So she came down, and we had some good times. We went to see SeaWorld together and a few other amusement parks down in Southern California. And so it was time for her to go back. So I get a letter in the mail that, saying what a wonderful time she had, and everything was wonderful. And at the bottom of the letter, she wrote, "Would you pay for my divorce?"
Oh my gosh. So she asked you to pay for her divorce.
Pay for your divorce? You said you weren't married. You split the sheets. So now you want me to pay for a divorce? I was messing around with a married woman.
She could have got you killed.
Oh God. Well, speaking of, don't covet thy neighbor's wife type thing. So I sinned, not knowing it, and I'm not super religious, but yeah, I kind of try to maintain a biblical lifestyle. I don't mess around, and boy, that ticked me off. And what else isn't she telling me?
Did you not pay? Did you not pay for the divorce?
Oh heck no.
Okay, what happened next?
She lied to me. That's not a good way to start off a relationship. What else is she not telling me? Come to find out, she's still living with her mother also. So if I would have got married to her, I would not be just marrying her. I would definitely have a live-in mother-in-law.
Wow.
And that's not good. So little things like that. Every time I get into a relationship, there's always something that screws up. But then again, I'm always so glad when it's over.
Well, thanks for calling in, Tim. I'm going to move to the next caller, but I do appreciate the story. That was hilarious. So call in again, will ya?
It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. I really enjoy your show. And I think you are a very beautiful woman. And you take care of yourself.
Thanks so much, Tim. Call in anytime, okay?
I sure will.
Okay, we're going to go to Doug. Who is next? Seb? Also, we have another sign up to the website, so I wanted to say
next.
Yeah, so Seb, why don't you unmute, but before you go, I'm going to read the signups. Guys, we're almost, it's pretty exciting. We are really close to covering my whole producer costs on the website. Not that you guys, you're like, what does that have to do with me? Fair enough. But thank you to Alesia for the sign up. Thank you to Dusty. Oh, I read that one before. Thank you guys for the sign ups. Okay, next we got Seb. I want to hear Seb's experience with female bosses. Feel free to unmute.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you, Seb?
Good. I hear you're from Chicago, right?
Yeah, are you out here too?
I grew up there.
Okay. What part?
Um, you familiar with like the Skokie Niles area?
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah, I grew up in. Actually, it was in Morton Grove.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I'm out in Phoenix now.
You got away from the cold. It's probably smart. Yeah.
Pretty much. Everyone that lives here is pretty much from Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana.
Yeah.
Everyone comes out here.
So, what are your
But
thoughts on the topic? Female
yeah,
bosses.
I have one good story and one bad story.
Okay.
So I used to be a delivery driver for Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
but it was you know how they have like they're hired but like third party, so you don't work directly for Amazon. For the drivers are hired by a third party company.
Okay.
So the first time I worked there, well, that was back in 20, 2017, and we had a real bitch of a boss. She was divorced twice. She was a swinger. I found out. She was just like a bitch to everybody. Always like being mean, like all down to business and all that crap. Like she thought she was the shit, you know. So a funny story. There was this one guy that started working there, an older gentleman, and when you go into the loading dock where you pick up all the packages, there was a retired cop that was working there, and there's like a speed limit, I guess you have to come in, and I don't know, she like started bitching at him because she saw him driving down the into the loading dock and he was going too fast, I guess, and she started like chewing him out, like, "Hey, you got to slow down, or I'm gonna write you up, or all that, whatever."
Mm.
And then the guy's like, "I'm a retired cop," and he like cussed her out, like straight up, like "F you," this that. He's like, "I'm a cop. You don't know what you're talking about," and and he actually like loaded the truck and then he left. Like he actually walked off the job site. So she was a big B, but she ended up the company went under like a little bit after that. I quit before then, but like I
Mhm.
found out through my friends that work there that the company like went under after that.
Wow.
And then so I left that company and I actually went back to Chicago after that for about a year. And then things didn't work out over there, so I came back here. And then I found another job with a different company. Um, and I also, but they were a divorced couple that owned the company,
Mhm.
and she was a younger lady. They had kids and all that stuff, but she was really cool. So like she was always understanding. She didn't like if you called in sick or whatever, then they didn't give you crap about nothing, you know.
Mm.
And so that's like she was complete opposite of the other boss. So like I guess it just depends on how the person is really.
So you had one bad experience and one good experience.
Yeah, so I had to throw both of them in. I'm like I can't be biased.
I can. 50% is pretty bad success rate.
Yeah, but most of the men bosses I had, they were all pretty cool. All of
Yeah.
them. Oh, actually, I do have another one. I
Oh,
worked
yeah?
for a bowling alley. This chick, she was a manager there that hired me. I was working there part time because like I have my knee surgery crap going on.
Mm.
So I worked at a bowling alley part time. It was a fun job. It was an awesome job. Um, and the manager that hired me, she was like in her 50s, short, blonde, like thin. She thought she was like hot shit, you know. And when she hired me, like they told me what the pay rate was, right? So I signed the paper, whatever. They said how much they're going to pay me hourly, and and then when I got my first paycheck, it was a different amount than what I signed up for.
Mm.
So she like docked me on my pay. I was like, whatever.
She docked you out of your. How much was it?
Yeah, it was like 50 cents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, the agreed amount was, a certain amount, and she bumped it down 50 cents less.
Why would she do like? What would that's like? Was it just to mess with you?
I have no idea. Maybe.
Okay.
I could have said something about it, but I was like, I don't give a crap. It's not worth it,
Yeah.
But yeah, that she was a big time.
So we're 1 for 3 of good female bosses, huh?
1 for 3, yeah.
Yeah. You can't be biased. You can't be biased at all.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, what if my editor called in? I'd kill him. I'm just kidding. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Hey, real quick, what's the weather like out there right now?
It was pretty nice today, actually. It was. Yeah, it's been cold, but today was really nice.
Yeah, we hit like 90 out here today.
Yeah, it was beautiful today. It was like 60s, maybe 50s.
Did you guys get like a lot of snow this winter?
Not a lot of snow, but no, not a lot of snow, but it was cold. I mean, you know how it is. It gets so cold here, it doesn't even snow.
Did Lake Michigan freeze up?
I don't know. I didn't go to it.
Mm.
I'm too far from the city. I'm not really there much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're like more towards like Winnetka area.
I'm not really going to put the area on the live.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. Well, thanks so much for calling in, Sab. I'm going to move to the next caller, okay?
All right, cool.
Ramos, you can go ahead, unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Guys are so much better with instructions than women. I think we had one woman join, and she was the one that didn't mute her mic. It's funny. Sorry, go on. Which one was it? Kramos?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your female boss story?
Well, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Okay, fine. First of all, I'm from Chile.
Okay.
So, first of all, I want to thank you for your content. It really helped me since 4 years ago, because I didn't know that there was a female understanding so many topics about this campaign and what's underneath and reading between the lines. So I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Excuse my English. You feel free to correct me.
Okay.
My female boss story is very simple. Years ago, I worked in the agriculture ministry in the government, and I was part of the publicity and communications department. We were 4, 3 males and 1 female. And my profession is audiovisual communication. And I did many presentations for initiative ideas. And my boss told me after 6 months, Evelyn was my female equal in the department, and our boss, female boss, told me, you need to let Evelyn to do your presentations. And I was like, okay, why? And the answer was like, because we need to send the message that women are capable.
Wait, so they took your presentation?
Many of them.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but what the hell?
Yeah, it was like tragic comical scenario for
Tragically comedic.
Yeah, because I had to teach Evelyn how to do the presentation about my ideas, And
Wait. So you had to teach her how to do a presentation about your ideas. Did you quit?
no, because
Guys are so nice. They're just like, whatever. Go ahead.
So you did all the work for the presentation, and then had to
yes,
give the presentation away. Oh my goodness.
yes. It was like strange, and my feeling at the beginning was like, okay, something is going on because my boss wants to give the credit to my equal partner in the department, and I'm not pursuing credit in general in my life.
Uh-oh.
So it was like we
That was
have
sounding out.
I can hear him.
we have.
Doug, I can hear him fine.
Can you hear me?
I can. Doug,
Okay.
on the website, I think they can hear him too. I think it might be. Doug, I think.
Are you there?
Doug, I think it's you.
Was it?
Yeah, because I can hear him fine. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's
I
okay.
can't hear him. I'll mute.
No worries. Well, anyway, for me, it was like, okay, she can have all the credit for my ideas because we did this. The agriculture minister in Chile is built by 12 different kinds of organism institutions. So, okay, we did this. We have to do these presentations with the agriculture minister. So it was like a very big deal. So she was doing the presentations of my ideas because that was my female boss order. I don't want to lose. I didn't want to lose my job, but I was like, okay, there's a higher goal here to benefit farmers, agriculture, family agriculture. So I'm not going to stop the information of my ideas just because she was getting the credit. But after 2 months of this practice, she started like treating me like I was her employee. So that's when I start feeling bad because I told my boss, okay, I'm going to teach her to do the presentations of my ideas. I have no problem, but please tell her that she needs to stop treating me like I am her employee because she did start bossing me.
So she took your ideas and then started bossing you around.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was the point where I told my female boss, "Hey, I have no problem. I have no problem to give her my presentations, but please tell her to stop bossing me because I'm having problem with that because it was this attitude, this behavior of, hey, do this. Are you ready with this? Did you done that? And I was like, okay, stop. So anyway, after that, this other boss female of one institution inside the minister told me, hey, be cool. I know that all these presentations are your ideas. So I told her, hey, but this Evelyn girl, she's bossing me around now, and that I don't like it. So she told me very simple, you need to tell the boss, the female boss, or you can take a decision. So my decision was to quit, and I did. I have a lot of contacts in press, so I did a very large letter about how my female boss ordered me to give my female equal all the credit of my ideas.
You did a letter to who?
Or many press, newsletter,
Did they pick it up? Did they pick it up?
Some of them.
Wow. What did the company say? Like what?
I quit. I put the letters up, and the threat started. Like, we're going to ruin your job. You're not going to have any job again in the government because you're disrespecting the privacy. And I was like, you know what? Fuck y'all. All the respect. Sorry. But
that's okay. So the papers picked this up. And was the woman, did any backlash come to her or no?
No, she was like, please don't do this. Why are you doing this? And I was like, because you were bossing me around and now you're apologizing. I didn't understand at all. So
she got
I quit.
caught. She got caught. That was why.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the papers, in the press papers, some of the female bosses of other institutions helped me and confirmed my idea.
Got it. Well, I'm sorry that happened, but that's a very funny story.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing. I got to move to the next caller, but call in anytime. All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to read the chat. Sorry, Doug. Did you want to go?
Oh, no. Apollo Didi, you're next.
Okay.
After Kobe's
chat. I'm going to read the chat. Okay. So we got Fazell who said, Pearl, you got to add the word bitch after ding dong ditch. That's my favorite word. Wait. Oh, from the song. Now we used to ding. Now we bitch. That's kind of funny. Okay. I can't copy and paste the link in the website chat. It's on there. Does it not work? Look, I don't know. I put it on there. I'll work next show. Okay, we'll try to figure it out. Pearl from Chaos Comes Order. Dusty, how about the female bosses with little man syndrome? Ego, Val. Thanks, I'm a returning member. Also, we got up to 8 at one point in the chat on the website. It'd be nice to get double digits today, but I know we're at a different time. Okay, they're going back and forth. I think that's it on the website. I'm going to check in on Rumble. Rasol says, what's up? And it's a power trip. We're at 74 viewers on Rumble. I'm trying to build that up, so maybe we can get to 100. Pearl, hang in there. You rock. I couldn't remember how to dual stream on Rumble till recently. So we just got that back up and going again. Okay. Doug, who'd you say was next?
Apollo Didi.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hey.
How's it going, Apollo?
Hi, Pearl. So I just wanted to get like your opinion on this. So I work with a ton of women and they're all like in a clique, I guess you could say, and I'm the youngest there. So they're all like 30s to like 50s and I'm like 24. So I don't know if that's a factor, but I swear anytime I do anything, there's this one lady there, she's been there for probably, I think she told me 30 years. Anytime I do anything, she has to say something, and you can never just have a conversation with this lady. She has to have a conversation with you, and she has to make sure everyone around you can hear what's going on. And then she has to like demean you the whole time she's talking to you. But if you say anything to her, then she acts like the victim, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she just said that. Can you believe she just said that to me?
What's the industry?
It's phones.
Like cell phones?
Like AT&T.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Oh, you didn't have to say the company, but it's okay. It's all right. And you're the youngest one there by like what, a decade?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still got hope in your voice. You're cooked. Sorry. Do you hear the pleasantness in her voice, Doug? That means she's done. They'll hear that and beat it out of you. They're
that might be what it is.
They're like a young, happy woman. Let me ruin her.
Can't have that.
No. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
The story I wanted to tell you, this was something that happened. So the girl that's like the manager there, she's a part of the LGBTQ community. And I'll just tell you, like, I come from a more like conservative background, so I don't know much about the LGBTQ community. I've never like grown up with friends with that, so I don't know the right terminology. And so what happened was there was a customer there that didn't speak English, and I guess she got upset and she got frustrated and she left. And the coworker came up to me and she was complaining that the person was being rude to her, and she said she doesn't even speak English. Why she needs to go back where she came from. And I didn't say anything, but I was like, okay, maybe she was just being prejudiced against you, you know, for being a dyke, being a lesbian. And she laughed and agreed with me, and then everything continued. So I thought nothing happened. So I didn't think anything of it. An hour later, my manager walks through the door and pulls me into the back, and she's like visibly upset. And this is the other woman. She's like shaking while talking to me as if her adrenaline's rushing. And she's like, hey, you're getting written up and you get to go home. And I was so confused. I'm like, why? What's going on? And she's like, well, you just called so-and-so a slur. In fact, it's just as bad as saying the N-word. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you even talking about? And she's like, yeah, you called her a dyke. You can't say that. I'm like, I never called her a dyke. I was insinuating that somebody was prejudiced against her because of her identity.
No, they're scared.
And I was consoling her.
They're scared of the lesbians. The one lawsuit, they gotta throw you under the bus.
Oh my God! Do you so fast?
Do you have like a race card or like a no? You if they're all women, you can't. Oh, you should have pulled that. You bet like she's a racist.
Yeah.
I tried to, but they didn't even care. They didn't even care.
The only time I pull out the race card is against these woke LGBT HCTVs. I'm telling you, you whip it out, especially if they're like, you know, purple-haired white liberals.
Oh my God, the manager has to care.
Yeah, tell them, say, why are you trying to police a black person or a person of color speech? Because I hate the race card, but I use it against wokes all the time. And just watch them squirm.
Right, because I was telling her, I was like, she was just being racist, and you know, with my ethnic background, I could have been upset about it, but I wasn't. So like, not only that, so I'll tell you what else happened. So the next day, they took me off the schedule. So they took me down from 5 days to 3 days because she didn't feel safe working around me after me saying that word.
Well, it's almost like problem solved. Then you didn't have to deal with her. It's almost a blessing, isn't it? It's like when women give you the silent treatment. You're like, wow, this is amazing.
But like, can you believe that she doesn't feel safe around me? Like, she physically thinks I'm like dangerous now.
Do you know what? I'm really not about pulling the race card. I would pull it in this situation. And I'm really not for that at all, but I would pull it back. I would say, Doug, we should brainstorm. How can she pull the race card next time something like this happens? Doug, I have an expert, Doug, on the line.
Yeah, so if you, the worst thing for especially a white liberal is to be called a racist. That's what they hate the most. So if you want to stop that conversation, even just whip that out. Say, you know what? I feel like you're being racist to me right now. You're trying to police my experience and police my language. And I don't really appreciate that very much. So they'll stop dead in their tracks. It doesn't matter what you say. Once you say that, everything stops.
Are the other people white? Oh, please be white.
Yes.
Yes.
I knew it.
Pull it.
I knew it. Let me tell you, I'm gonna follow. So I was at an office party. No, I was. This is way back when I first started in my professional career, and we had the first Christmas party I was at in an actual office. I got people gifts, and then I gave this woman a gift. It was something small, and I said "Merry Christmas," and she was Jewish. I didn't know, because you're not supposed to ask people's religious affiliation, right? And she had like nothing about her that showed that she was Jewish. She had the nerve to go to corporate, to go to management and say that I offended her because I said Merry Christmas because she was Jewish.
Oh my God. You
And
can't say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and that was the very first time, because we had a mediation meeting. They brought me and her and my boss in an office, and we had to hash it out. And
oh my God, how dare you be nice?
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever told her. I was like, I don't appreciate you policing my language as a black person. So I said, look, give me the gift back because it's going to be this way. And petty, I'll be petty too. And then we worked together for 2 more years. I avoided her like the plague. I never said another word to her for 2 years.
Look, I never tell people to pull the race card, but I think it's time. It's time.
Let me ask you a question. So I don't know much about the LGBTQ community, but is that really a bad word? The word dyke?
Yeah, to them. I mean, not to me, but I'm me.
Yeah,
you know?
not to me either.
Yeah, but to the woke, they might. I mean, you can't even say retard anymore. They take everything. They take everything fun away.
And you're better off not knowing, so don't waste your time.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for calling the show. I didn't know women watched, so this is very exciting for us here.
Thanks.
We're going to move on to the next caller, but call back anytime and keep me posted. I want to hear how this goes.
Okay, have a great day, Pearl.
You too, bye.
Hey, Brian Megan.
Hey, Brian, we got...
Unmute. Brian Megan. Okay, we'll go on. I think James was next.
Is there a James there? I don't see him.
Yeah, okay. James is there.
Yeah,
James, are you there?
Hi.
Hey, now I see him. Hey, James, how's it going?
How's it going? Good. I'm a fan of your show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. Tell me, what's your female boss experience?
So I actually got like 3 stories of like actually it's funny because it's actually 3 stories of like one of them was a teacher. I know what you're thinking. You said
I'm kicking. No, you're getting kicked out. You're getting kicked out. Kick him. No, but if you want to listen to the stories, my editor, guys, my editor just called into the show. You went under freaking James. You didn't think I'd recognize your voice?
I knew you were gonna recognize me.
Oh my god, I can't. All right, tell me your female.
I will never say my experience working with you.
Tell me your female boss story. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I actually got 3 female boss stories that are a little bit shocking.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first of all, I mean, Pearl, you know that I'm from Colombia, basically.
Yeah.
And so there, I studied. I went to like a men-only school, but for some reason, the kids that were like in nursery and in first grade of elementary school, they had like this director who was a woman. Because even though that it was like a very Catholic school, men only, for some reason, they put these women there because they thought, it would be better for the kids. And so the thing is that sometimes when, for example, an English teacher would leave, then she would take over, and she was like very fun with us, very like charismatic. And she would, for example, draw like caricatures of us like on the boards and stuff like that. And so she was like very, very funny, and like even would make like challenges. So whoever had the best grades would go with her like on pizza Friday, for example, after school. Like she would take them to pizza. And the thing is that I remember that one day we're having like an English class, and she's showing like, I don't know how is it called in English, but she's showing like on top, under, inside, outside, and all of this. And anyways, like, so she starts and she's like, okay, kids, it was like a 30 kids classroom. And she's like, okay, kids, everybody take off your shoes and put it on top of the table. And, the 30 kids, we take off our shoes and we put it on top of the table, and, everything's fun. Then she's like, okay, kids, take off your belt and put it inside the drawer. And, we're kids, 7-year-old kids, all male. And we're like, okay, and we take it off and we put it inside the drawers. Then she says, okay, kids, now take off your shirt and put it inside the backpack. And, we put it inside the backpack. Some of us, I remember, there was like 4 of us who actually got like so uncomfortable. and I think she kind of noticed it, and she was like, "Okay, if you guys don't want to do it, like you can just keep sitting down." And then she was like, "All right, we're gonna go for the final step. Kids, take off your pants, totally, and put it next to your chair." And it was like literally 25 kids inside the room, like all like
What?
well, of course in underwears. But I remember I was just 7 years old, and I was like, "There's something weird about this." And anyway, so years passed. The next year, like for some reason, she disappeared completely out of the school. And then, like right now, I now it's been, I think, what 21 years since
Mhm.
that. And I've got two friends that confessed to me last year that they got raped by these women.
At
So
7?
So exactly what many of us are thinking, that many of the kids that went through these women got raped, and they're not even gonna go forward and speak about it because they're like, there's no way I'm talking about this.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Then next story, to make it quickly, I made a like a event company in Florida in 2013. And so we would like make private parties or nightclub parties and stuff like that, and we would like fill it up. We would make like all the marketing stuff, the videos. And I started this company with two girls that were like very hot girls in Colombia. And so they moved to Florida because they were like starting on Gainesville or something like that. And anyways, we started this company. It was just us three, and we started making parties. It became very popular because these were like very hot girls, and they were super popular. So they got like every Hispanic person in Florida to go to these parties. And then they bring a girl, which was my first experience with women working in the marketing sector, especially, where there are a bunch of women that don't do anything, and they just like literally they just get paid for being a marketer or whatever the hell that's called. And so in the end, so she joins, and during the first couple of years, like everything was fine, but sometimes she would say like, "Oh, I want this to be that way." Like out of the sudden, she would change, like, and because she was there in Florida, like she could like kind of take these decisions. And so she started like always like this, like just to mention, I know this girl from Colombia, and she was like this rich girl with, like perfect grades, beautiful body, beautiful face, all the friends, the boyfriends, the cars, all of that. So she was always like very, oh yeah, the way.
Okay.
And so to make it short, she started like changing everything. And after like 4 years, like she nagged me up to the point where I just said to the people that they could keep the company, and I left without anything related to the company. And basically now the company for like still makes money, like, and it's like I always look back, I don't even regret leaving the company because in the end it was just parties in Florida with Latinos, and that's it. But I always think of that girl, and I'm like, holy crap, like she really got into my blood and my nerves, like.
Imagine
And I didn't.
imagine if you married her,
No way. And the last story,
You're good.
is the weirdest
Oh
story
no,
ever.
hold on. My audio just cut. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, go back. I accidentally unplugged. Say that one more time. Your last story.
Yeah, I just got the last story. It's just I'm gonna make it as short as possible because I gotta finish some stuff right now.
Okay.
And basically, like during some time, I moved to Spain,
Mhm.
and from there, I was working like in the entertainment sector as well. I've always been around like the parties, music, and that kind of BS sector. And so, like, when I go to Spain, I start working with these women who is like a manager, like an international manager for like artists and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like, when I start talking with her, she tells me that she's married, she has a family and all of that stuff. That's when I met her, and I started working with her remotely. And then after a year, she's like, I want to kind of adopt you, and I want to bring you to south of Spain with me, so you can work more closely. We're gonna have more events. We're gonna move all around Spain. Da, 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 da. And so, anyways, I moved there, and for when like my first reaction when I got home is that there was no man in the house. When I opened the house door after like an Uber left me there, I basically see her daughter who was like 16 years old, like in panties, in the underwear, and basically I'm like a little bit shocked, and then I go into the room. There's this woman, and I ask her for her husband, who supposedly was the guy I was speaking the most in that year. And she's like, "Oh no, he left for a trip. It doesn't matter. So we'll start working some stuff out, and that's it." So, anyways, I'm working with her there for almost a year, hectic year where I she wouldn't like answer like to my invoices, never would pay me on time, even like she was supposed like she would leave for like 1 month season, and she wouldn't like pay the electrical bills of the house or water. So like literally one day I would be like, okay, I cannot take a shower today because there's no running water in the house, literally. And anyways, like the where it gets weird is that after a year, I'm working with her. I don't know anything about the husband. And she just tells me that she broke up with this guy like supposedly 8 months ago. That was like 4 months after I arrived. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, and, she explains me that she's the owner of the house, that she has like a lot of money and all of this, and that she can work with me, and do everything perfect. And where it gets weird, there are many weird stuff where like she even tried to put me with her like 17 years old daughter. Like she made me sleep in the same bed with her even. Like because
What?
supposedly there was like no room in the
What?
house. Like on the first week, like literally she was like, "Oh, there I don't have any rooms, and the room that I've got is full of boxes, so you gotta sleep here with my daughter." And I was like, okay, this is super uncomfortable, but anyways, I mean, I thought it was like separate, like a big room with separate beds, and when I open the room, it's like the daughter is sleeping in the bed, and I just gotta get inside with her, and I'm like, I literally like
They're
slept
trying
on the
to
floor.
catch. They're trying to like catch a charge. Holy shit.
Yeah, no. It's no. In the end, like the whole story, I might tell you, like even one day, like these women I found out she's associated like with narcs and stuff like that, like some crazy stuff. But anyways, where it gets super weird is that one night I've got my room, and she had like this big mansion, and I've got my room and I'm sleeping, and one night like I literally just wake up out of the sudden, and I've got her literally like trying to get in the bed with me, like, and she's like trying to explain me that this is normal, that she started like catching feelings for me and all of that. And literally that same night, like I kind of like was so shocked that I left the room. And I mean, I took everything what I could. I actually left like a bunch of stuff there because I was like, bro, I just want to get the hell out of here. Like for 1 hour she was trying to explain me, like not violent or anything like that, but she was like sorry, and then she was like, no, but let's do this, and then sorry, and let's do that. And anyways, I get out of the house. I take like a Uber to the airport, and there like I waited for the next day, and then I caught a flight to London basically.
Wow, and that's where
So
then you met
now
me.
that you say the 3-to-1 experience, I can tell you it might be kind of true.
The what? The what?
The 3-to-1 experience.
Oh, the 3-to-1, 3 out of 4. Got it. Well, dang, I want to call you by your real name, but I won't. I was about to say it. Okay, well, I'm glad you didn't have any other stories, James.
No, and there won't be any other story.
Yeah, better
I've
not.
learned. Okay,
Good. Sorry, Doug. Go ahead.
we're gonna do Brian. Are you there? Brian, you got on camera a little bit ago. There you are. Unmute.
Um,
Brian, unmute. Unmute. You're still muted. You're still muted. You are still muted, my friend. You're on mute. All right, we'll go to We'll go to Julian. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've had mixed reactions, right? One of my best bosses was actually a woman.
What?
And
Sorry,
I think the big thing that
before you go, what industry are you in? It just helps me contextualize.
yeah, I've been in a lot of industries. So right now I'm in tech. Before that, I was in business operations, biz DevOps. All right. So right now I'm in IT. Before I was in business operations, and that woman, I think she was good because she had spent 20 years in the foreign service. So she had an accountability mechanism above her. So if she failed, messed up, she could go to prison, right? You really mess up in foreign service, you can go to jail or prison. My worst boss was also a woman, and I'll go to the worst boss. And the big thing is, she was very invasive in my personal life, and the way she did it was by asking questions that I didn't want to answer, but then trying to ingratiate herself all the time to try and form this fake relationship. And I found this was very early in my career. But she found out that, she wanted to find out about my family, find out about who I was dating, all these different types of things. And when she found out all these things, she held them against me because she didn't approve of certain portions of them. And that is where
What? Wait, how did she? Okay, how did that come up? So she asks you like who you're dating, and then she says at work like you shouldn't date her, or
no? She asks, "So are you taking any time off?" Yeah, I'm gonna take time off to spend it with my girlfriend. Oh, who's your girlfriend? Well, girl I've been seeing since I was in college. We had a good time. We've been enjoying each other's company. We're gonna go to, pick strawberries or apples or whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be, long weekend, so it'll be a good time. And this is me being naive, just expecting, everything's okay, approved. We're gonna go off in that. And she started asking more pointed questions, started digging a little bit deeper, and she found out, oh, this is my girlfriend. Big thing that really set it apart, why it made it so terrible. Towards my end of my tenure at the company, I was there for about 4 years. Another girl was hired on who she just got along with. They were girlfriends almost, right? And they had their own falling out eventually. That girl who was hired on had a crush on me. I had no interest in her. One, it's a coworker. I don't want to mess with a coworker.
was she fat?
Two,
Be honest.
yeah. Oh, yeah. She was fat.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's
I'm like
a big
zero
part.
zero interest. I'm like, really
zero interest, man. She looked like an apple with sticks.
Okay.
But she had that. She was bad built. She was a badly made woman.
Okay.
And she was very aggressive. She sent pictures of her naked. She sent pictures of her like genitalia up close. And
and she was fat too. They weren't even good pictures.
And no, they weren't.
Was this woman white or black?
Which one? I mean, both of them were black, but yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. But I just expressed no interest, reported it to HR, and told my boss about it. And my boss was like, "Sure, I'll talk about this." After the fact, she found out. This is when she found out my girlfriend was not black, and
here we go.
Oh no.
Yeah. And she was
done.
Not
cooked.
She was very good about not letting me know that was an issue, but that became an issue of why. A couple of weeks before my annual review came up, it went from 4 stars to all of a sudden you're going to be on performance enhancement. And there's at that point you pretty much need to look for a new job. And so I did, and went through the PIP and got laid off. I don't know, 5 weeks later. And there was nothing I could do about it because it turned into, I need to check every email you send. I need to check every work product you send before you send it to the person you're sending it to. If it's not you. So it becomes a control situation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to comply, you're going to submit. And it wasn't good. And it set me back. It turned into a good reason why I took a couple months off, left the country, came back a year later. And I realized, one, certain people are not meant to be in leadership. Two, if they're in leadership, you cannot share your personal information at all. Like you should have just a standard non-true story or something you can stick with parts of the truth, right? So if you're working for a company that likes families, then you're just a family guy, right? If you're working for a startup, you don't have a family, and you have to figure out how do you sell yourself, because that even your existence as a person, your status romantically, that has to be a portion of it. And I think women take that into an account a lot more. And if you violate their internal rules that are beyond the company's rules, you're cooked.
Right. So, do you find that to be the same with men? Like men will evaluate you based on like if you're married or single guy, whatever.
It's a mixed bag. I think generally, all right. America, the majority of men that are going to be in hiring manager positions are going to be white men, about 40 to 60, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Most of them are family guys, right? They got their wife, they got their kids, they want to work, they want to do their job, but then something's going to pop up. I think most of those guys just want somebody who can solve the problems. They want somebody who can take the burden off their hands. So they don't really care as much about your romantic status, but they do like family guys. So that's where it pays to have like a format where you can just lie or shape the truth and just say, yeah, I'm a family guy. I want this position, right? But a lot of those guys also, they suffer from a lot of this, frustration of not being taken fully seriously outside of their job as much as they are on their job. And so those guys have a different issue that they're going through.
Yeah. Okay.
But I say they're more fair though. They're more fair.
Doug, go ahead. Go ahead, Doug.
This is a question that's separate from Pearl, but I'm a black professional just like you. Have you found it in your experience that in an academic and professional setting, usually you're the person that treats you the worst, or your worst enemy, or your arch nemesis is another black person?
All right, so I know what you're getting at. All right, so I'll say you this:
I'll say it. Most of the time, this has nothing to do with Pearl. This is just Doug NPA. Most of my professional jobs, it's been a black woman that's given me the most hell at work.
I'll say that is someone that will not help me at all. I'll be more diplomatic. I'll say the best. All right, from a business perspective, the ones who will take you at your technical skill and knowledge, it's going to be white. 99% of the time, well, let's say 90% of the time, it's going to be like middle-aged white guy who just needs you to help solve their problems so they look good.
Yep.
God, I'm like envisioning.
But it's really like how professional-minded are you? That's the big thing.
I'm envisioning my dad right now as you guys are talking. Like he does not care. You could be like a vegan leftist with 3 girlfriends and a boyfriend, and he will not care if you can make his life easier and save him time. He does not care. Yeah.
They want to solve problems.
Yeah.
That's it. And like they know I can tell them what they need to hear. I can demonstrate what I need to solve, what I can alleviate from their burdens, and then they pay me my money, and I'll get out of their hair. And that's the basic thing.
And to me, you sound like the kind of person like I always say on my channel, it's not about finding a passion. It's not about being happy at work. It's about getting the job done and having a job that gives you dignity, respect, and the finances to live the life you want on your terms, or to support a family if you so choose. But one of the reasons why women are so terrible to each other is they bring in all this stuff. Oh, we have to all get along together on a personal level. We all have to be happy at work. We all have to find our passion. No, we don't.
Yeah. I don't want a bagel lunch. I don't want a pizza lunch. I don't want any other like stress balls. I don't want any of that shit. If you want to do any of that garbage, send it to me in a check that can be counted as a stipend. Internet stipend, cell phone stipend, something along those lines. I don't need to be best friends with the people. If I get along with people I work with, fantastic. But I don't need to get along with you other than how do we solve the problem that we're all tasked with. That's the basic thing.
Yeah.
And a lot more women are not They're not qualified for that. And it's, there are ones who are out there who do that, and you don't hear many complaints from or about them. But a lot more who get in the positions, they want to exercise control. They want to get you to comply in certain ways that just don't make any sense for the job. I'm coming in here to share this carpet, get the job done, see the direct deposit, and then live my life. And if I get along with a couple of people, you invite me to your wedding, fantastic. If you don't, fantastic. I don't really care about that. I want the job. I want to get the job done.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah, thank you. Big fan. Have a good night.
Thanks.
That's everybody, bro. You're good.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's going to be my last caller anyway. I think, okay. I think that's all I got. Doug, any final thoughts on female bosses?
Women can't stand each other, guys. The only time they come together is against the patriarchy and men. But other than that, they can't stand each other.
What do you think about long-lasting female friendships? Like the ones, because I know some friend groups that have been together for a while. What's your thought on those?
Female friends will last until one of them gets into a serious relationship or they get married. Then it's over.
Yeah.
Or if any of those women get happy for some reason, if they find, if they're successful in business, if they find some kind of passion or something, women can't stand each other, guys.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Well, thanks so much, Doug. And thank you, everyone, for watching. If you want, go to theaudacitynetwork.com. And I'm about to read all the final chats of the night. Let me refresh really quick. Also, thank you to everyone watching on Rumble. We're at 99 people on Rumble. What a day. Okay, wait, let me go to the bottom. All good. If you guys want me to read your comment on the website, put Pearl read. I do want to get to at some point, I think it'd be fun to do like monthly Zoom calls with the people on the website, but I got to get enough first that it makes sense. But if you want yearly membership, feel free. Every female boss I've had acted more masculine and bossy than any male, like they were trying to become some image of a tough guy. I was working in general labor and warehouse work. That's Yankee. Okay, I think that's everyone. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And obviously, I'm going to play my mixtape as a way to end the show because, well, because.
Good night, Pearl.
Good night. Thanks for calling.
Very welcome. Have a good night.
You too. All right, I'm going to go end the live. Thanks for watching, guys.